Hey, I see somebody's here. What's happening? I see there's a few somebodies here. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's going on? Yo, a while ago, like a long time ago, 10 months ago, just about 10 months ago, we did the first, hey, what's happening, homie Lou? We did the first story time with Julian, March 24th. On March 26th, we did the Thursday episode. It was the first Thursday episode. And that's when we did the first official pre-read. And what I dug about the pre-read back then, what's going on, Angela Lee Rhymes? What's happening, Judy Lee? What I dug about the pre-read back then was that it was mad chill. So lately I've been working with some of the staff, the people who helped me to make Storytime with Julian a thing. And we've been cataloging all the back episodes, giving them episode numbers and, finding the dates and finding all the recordings, even for the ones that we forgot to archive. We've been finding ways to get those from before Storytime with Julian had a channel on YouTube, before we had a page on Facebook. We've been doing all of the background work to get that done. And so part of that has meant looking at some of the old episodes and just kind of seeing what the vibe was. And I was talking with my pastor just the other day. He came by and wanted to just kind of chill and catch up and make sure I was okay, which I appreciated. I got a full service pastor. He does house calls and checks in just to make sure that I'm good. And we had a long talk, and one, story time came up, and he was like, "Yeah, man, it has really changed. Like, you have evolved so much." And I didn't even know my pastor checked for the show, to be perfectly honest. I had no idea that he even watched. He was like, the intro, and I remember your old intro. And so as I've been going back and looking at some of the old files, I've been like, wow, it really has been a significant change. And I remember when I started, looking for some of the old files, I was thinking like, oh, it'll be cute to see how quaint and different things were, like way back then. But honestly, when I look back, I actually dug some of the stuff the way that it was the old way, even more than I dig the way we do it now. One of the things that I had to look back on and think, you know what, maybe there was something there, was the pre-read. What's happening, Terry? Good to see you. Because the old pre-read was literally just us chilling and talking. Like, I was worried about my mics, and so I was like, make sure the mic works, and can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I didn't have monitors. I didn't have, streaming service and all that stuff. I didn't have indicators to let me know when things weren't working, so I didn't know. And in that time, hey, what's happening, Joker? Good to see you. And in that time, we would just chill and kick it and shoot the shit and talk. And it wasn't necessarily a lesson. It was just like, what y'all doing? What's going on this side? And so I want to do that again. So the pre-read's not, I'm going to reinstate. You'll notice that there's a specific manner. The pre-read is going back to being its own separate entity. The pre-read will end. There will be a break. I will start a new broadcast, and that'll be the show. And I just kind of want to try that again. So to that end, what's going on this side? Like, for real, what's going on with y'all? What's happening? Like, what's happening with your days? How you been? What have you been up to? All of the things that just regular day stuff. Let me tell you what I've been up to. Here's what's been going on with me. I'm very, very conscious, incidentally, of my bins and my beans. I've been working on that. But here's what's been happening with me. Like I said, my pastor came through, and I appreciate that. Terry says she's been up painting and letting my voice guide her through it. That's awesome. My pastor came through. Now, my pastor coming through was kind of a big deal, because real talk, me and my pastor had a falling out like a long while ago. And then we just kind of had, like, things were just different. Like, they were different. The falling out was even before the pandemic hit. And it was minor. It was super minor. But you know how things can just kind of build on you, and they can like sit with you for a while. It was one of those things. And And so getting a chance to just kick it with him and chill with him was a really, really big deal for me. I was downstairs much longer than I wanted to be. Like, I had a mask on, he had a mask on. We were sitting very far away from one another. It looked like one of those interviews like with White House correspondents where there's like an entire room between you. It was like that. But at the same time, I've just been really, really, I've been in my bubble, my bubble of just this space. So it was really good just to talk with somebody in person for a good amount of time and just kind of chill. So that was what was happening with me. Um, I had a call earlier today from a really good friend who was doing some writing and called me because he wanted to read to me what he had written just to kind of hear it out loud and kind of hear my thoughts with it. And so as I heard him read through it, I gave him a couple of thoughts and suggestions. But what I couldn't even really get my mouth around to say good was just how honored I was that he thought of me to do that. That he thought, hey, what's happening, Issa Marie? That he thought, I need to hear this read aloud. I want to read it to Julian and get his feedback. And he's like, I know that you read a lot. I know that you know your words. And I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear some feedback from you. It was such a tremendous honor for me. And the piece that he's writing is incredibly dope. It's going to be really, really fire when it comes out. Also, while I had him on the line, I did something that is atypical for me. He has a podcast, and I specifically requested, and I never do this, but I specifically requested the opportunity to be on his podcast. I wanted to be on so that I could read a story that I hadn't had a chance to. Did I not say hey to Kamisha? Hey Kamisha, I thought I said hey to Kamisha. Hey Kamisha, what's happening? I see you waving. I saw the the formal me drop down on the screen, so I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe I didn't. Maybe I missed the mark on that one. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Angel Monique says, I've been writing and figuring out and fighting to write what I want to write instead of what I'm actually writing. I'm often at conflict in that way, frustrated artist and all that jazz. Yo, listen, I absolutely get that. I am learning to write what comes when it comes as often as I can, because when you miss that window, sometimes a story is only going to come for like that brief window and then it's gone. And when you miss that window, like you never get that back. So I'm like, I'll take it as it comes, and I'll do the best that I can with the thing that I'm intentional about writing. And sometimes just accept the blessing that comes. Let's see. Joker says she's been taking care of children and adopting puppies. I don't know if this platform lets you post images. Try posting an image of your puppy on the stream if you don't mind sharing what your puppy looks like. And if it does allow it, I'm going to show it. I'm going to flash it up on the screen because I think that would be absolutely, absolutely adorable. But no, so that's what's been happening with me. Seriously though, what are some of the other things going on with y'all? Talk to me. So we got Joker, who's taking care of kids and adopting puppies, and we got Angel Monique fighting with the muses, and Joker she can't upload a picture of the puppy. So we all just have to assume that the puppy's ugly, because if the puppy were cute, she would have put it up there. That's how I am choosing to interpret this. Nah, that's too big, and I don't care for that one. And that one's really plain, but we're gonna use that one because I like the colors better. So yeah, just kind of getting back to what I was saying. I wanted to go back to a simpler kind of pre-read and see what's up with y'all. One of the things that was dope, but also kind of heartbreaking, was seeing names that I don't see anymore. And I know, circumstances have changed, and just like storytime itself has evolved, people's situations have evolved. A lot of people who had time off when this started, they don't have that time off anymore, or they might have gotten to a place where the service that this originally was intended to be isn't one that they need anymore, in which case it's fine. I had to come to grips with realizing, what, your reason for doing this isn't the same anymore. Why you started and why you're still doing it are two different things. And so, just like my reason for doing this has evolved, and some of your reasons for participating have evolved, and some of your circumstances have evolved, this whole thing is just going to kind of keep going and changing. And I get that. But there are some names that when I heard myself saying them in the early videos, like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from them in forever. I haven't seen them on it forever. Um, it also used to be that because I was using the Facebook interface, I could see more of people than I could see through this interface. So, like, if you react with a heart or a smile or a like, I can't really see that. I don't know who's doing it. I can see that some reactions are happening, but I don't know who they're coming from or why. And if you don't comment, I can't tell that you're there. But with the other interface, with the Facebook interface, I could see that you entered the room and I could say something. So that's something that I actually kind of miss, but I like the freedom that this version of it provides me. So Judy Lee is chasing after one of her ancestors, Jamaica Joe. Help me understand that, Judy Lee. What is up with Jamaica Joe, that ancestor that you're chasing? Joker says that she's also writing and being frustrated. The stories keep rushing and I can't write them all at the same time. That is yeah. You know how you be at church sometimes and somebody else tells your testimony, so you ain't got no reason to stand. That. I remembered that I had stopped drinking on camera because it looks weird. And on the on the actual show, I probably won't. But since this is more casual, I probably will. And my mouth was dry, so I needed to. Who else is here? If you are here but haven't announced yourself, please do so. Let me know that you're here. I've seen comments from Terry, Angela Lee, Homie Lou. Homie Lou's staying mad quiet though. Homie Lou, do you have a niece or nephew with you tonight? Is there anyone that we should be giving a shout out to? Let us know. So wait, hold up. What does it say? He was a pirate. He was a pirate during his mid-years, and I'm just trying to fill in the blanks with him. Born 1752 and disappeared in 1800. He was a he was a pirate. I'm sorry, I just saw Tony Agent smart behind. Don't tell me what to do. You know what? You can go on and hush, sir, because you are now at least part Apple. So as a part of the commune, there's a hierarchy, sir. Understand? So yo, that was something that I saw today on I've been seeing it a lot for the past few days. Apparently at some point people were logged out of Facebook on their iPhones, and I've seen like 4 or 5 people like, oh, so iPhones are supposedly better, but I didn't get logged out of Facebook. And I'm like, since when is being like that seems like a mild inconvenience to me, right? Like, okay, I got logged out of Facebook and then I logged back in. And actually, that didn't even happen to me. I'm an iPhone user and it didn't happen to me. So I have no idea how it became such a bellwether for iPhone quality and why people were so gassed or pressed about why that happened. Have y'all been seeing these posts? It's just weird to me. Actually, the whole iPhone Android rivalry is weird to me. I wonder what it is about us as people that what is it about us as people that we tend to bifurcate, right? Like we always either or things. I don't want to say always because that's that's using final language and absolutes, which I'm not really a fan of. But what is this need that we have to be either Ford or Chevy, Coke or Pepsi? In Louisville, it's U of L or U of K, you know, red or blue, Republican or Democrat, Apple or PC, iPhone or Android. Like, and Tony says it best, maybe in group and out group. Like, why do we do this? Why do we do this in general? Why do we have a need to other? There was a story that I wrote a little while ago called The American Dream, and the narrating character um, says of her child that he sees the things that are same more than he sees the things that are different. And for the context of that particular story, it is something that is an advantage in general, something that speaks to her heart, but that is not advantageous in this situation because she needs for him to be able to describe something that's different. Um, I think about that a lot. Like, I'm not hippie chippy dippy type dude that I'm not on that kumbaya tip where I expect everybody to, can't we all just get along? I'm not that. I understand that we have differences. What I'm struggling with understanding is why we pledge such allegiance to these differences. You know, these things that we find to be so different about another group or another thing, and they're so minor. I mean, we all carry, most of us carry a small computer in our pocket that we call a phone. One runs one system, one runs another. Fundamentally, they basically do the same things. They just do them in a different style. I prefer the style of the one that I have, but I've seen some amazing Android devices, and I'm like, if I could get past that style hurdle, I would mess with that. I tease a lot about this kind of thing, about this, these dividing lines, this in-group, out-group behavior. I create false grouping of carnivores versus vegans. And so I other my vegan friends a lot, making fun of their recipes. Because it's just but that's just jokes, that's just playing. But like, we really seriously, we get to a place where it's like you'd think that people are making, like, Apple doesn't make me any money. Even if I own a little piece of a stock with them making money doesn't actually really make me money. What happens to them for most of us does not affect our lives unless it affects the technology directly. Android is mostly not making people money just by being Android. It just kind of is what it is. Why do we get these weird allegiances to it? These weird allegiances where we'll fight and argue about it, and they both just, cash in their checks. Angel Monique wants to protest that vegan chocolate chip cookies are a thing. I'm not entirely convinced that they are. I know that that Daisy Bee chocolate chip cookies are a thing, and they are in fact the business. Like, if you get them when you're supposed to get them, they are fantastic. And now that the holiday season is over and the post office is acting like it's got good sense, I'm gonna place me another order because those are the business. Now, I don't know about them being vegan. I don't know how that's gonna work out. What was it? Somebody had a meal that they posted earlier. I saw it and I forgot to comment on it. Who was saying that? Jordis is baking coconut bread and making oxtails and coconut rice and fried plantains. Look, I couldn't even speak. Fried plantains. Man, that sounds so good. I haven't had any food like that in a while. I don't know why the official title is doing that, because no, Storytime with Julian has not made them, and I don't know why that's happening, and I'm just putting that out there. Latricia, okay, Jordis, Latricia wants to know where you are. She said ASL. Do y'all remember ASL? Who here remembers chat rooms? Like, I'm talking about before Clubhouse, but after party lines. Who remembers chat rooms where you would just be minding your own business trying to talk to somebody and then ASL? Like, that was the poke pre-Facebook. Before Facebook, ASL was the poke. And now I don't know what's what. Are any of y'all messing with Clubhouse, by the way? If you are, look for us on Clubhouse. You can find me at Storytime Julian, or just enter my name, so that you can see me. And on Saturdays, we do story time with Julian Clubhouse edition. And the thing on the Clubhouse that we're trying to do is sight unseen, whether or not it even, meets my quote unquote approval. We are doing readings of submitted materials so that people can hear their stories read aloud, because it's my opinion, my considered opinion, if not expert, that hearing your piece aloud helps you to develop a different relationship with the words than the ones that you have when you are writing it and you're really only hearing it in your voice, because you don't get a chance to hear how other people experience it. You don't get a chance to hear where they might find stumbling blocks. So this part, I think that really kind of helps to make it a little bit and it awakens the piece. And that's just something that I thought would be nice to do. So I'm really looking for pieces to read on Saturday for Clubhouse. If you'd like to submit something, you can send it to storytimewithjulian@gmail.com. We just got a real basic Gmail email address, so we're easy to find. But please go ahead and do that. Good to see L Jack is here. I don't know who he thinks is going to give him a whooping or fire him. I'm going to leave that to him and his people. I'm sure somebody knows and understands, and Lord bless them. But anyhow, y'all, thank you for chilling and kicking it with me. I have a little bit of time before we need to start the show. Tonight on the show, we're going to be picking up where we left off with the story Miss Muriel from the book Miss Muriel and Other Stories. We split the story in half because it's a little bit on the long side. For those of you all who missed Thursday's read, go ahead and check that out soon, because it'll be coming down on Thursday. This is going to be pick up that story. So you might not, if you didn't catch Thursday's read, you might not want to hear the end of the story without hearing the beginning. I'll do a brief recap at the top of the hour before we get started. So you'll get a chance to get caught up that way. But this has been the pre-read, taking it back to the old school, the way that we used to, where we just really kept it super chill. So I hope that you've enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you on the other side of things for Storytime with Julian. All right. Peace.